Hello and welcome to part 6 of this muffin making Blender beginner series tutorial. Currently we are at level 2. Today we'll be looking into UV unwrapping and texture painting. So as you can see on the picture on level 2, we will try to simulate the various degree of the texture, which will look more closer to realistic thing with various degree of baking level with a different golden color, things like that. So we'll try to do that today. So let's get started. So to start with the texture painting, you can select the muffin and here up here press on texture paint. As you can see, the muffin appears to have a pink color. So the pink color indicates that the muffin currently has no texture. So first let us create a new texture. Let me turn on the keys. Okay. So press new here and let's name this muffin texture. And I'll use the default values for the width and height. These values. If you want a higher resolution, you can increase these values twice or 3 times, but that will increase your file size, so just go with it for the first time. Press OK. If you zoom out, now you can see we have this. So bring your cursor here and tap to go to edit mode. Okay, now press A on your keyboard to select every part of the muffin. So for visualization here, turn off the cap, and here you can see we have the muffin all parts selected. Also we can turn off the plane for now. Okay, so the first thing you can do is bring your cursor here and press U. This brings up a list of options. So we have to unwrap the mesh first to the left side. So click on Smart UV Projects, and we can use this scale to bounds and leave the rest default values up there and press OK. So what this operation does is it will project every part of the mesh here to this side. So these are the straightened parts of the mesh, all you see here along this one. Okay, now let's go to the shading part. Click on shading, and if you remember, this was the default color that we assigned to the muffin in the previous episode. Now press Shift A, then go to texture and image texture. Now the output from this goes to the base color. So the input will be click this drop down arrow and the one we created earlier, the muffin texture, select it. Now that texture is assigned to the muffin. Now the muffin has turned into a black color. That's because still there's no texture applied, that's why it appears black. Now if we go back to the texture paint, here also you can see the muffin has turned into black, stating that it has no texture value currently. So bring your cursor here, press N, so this brings the brush settings. This is the radius and this is strings. Just like in the sculpting mode, you can vary the radius of the brush by pressing F key like this. Okay, I'll keep the strings at 1. Now what I want to do is, currently the brush is set at this the white value, so I want to change this to this color, and we can start painting over this. So in my initial painting, I just want to cover all the parts of the muffin with uniform base color. The sides of the muffin will be covered by the cup. We don't need that much detail. I just want to go over it once in case someone decides to remove the cup. This still needs to look good. So you can move your brush over your muffin like this. And this will paint. Yeah. So apply the color on all parts of the muffin like this. We can also paint over the lower part of the muffin. Okay. Yeah, so we are almost done. Okay, now let's bring the cup. So from now on, whatever we apply, now we covered the base, so we can now work on the top part of the muffin. The other thing I noticed, if you look closely to most muffins, they appear to be white, kind of white at the top, especially in the middle parts, and they tend to darken as you go down towards the edge parts. So I want to create that illusion. So here, bring your cursor and click on this one. Now this brings the second brush option. I'll bring this to white, and I'll bring down the strings to 0 point around 3, and I'll change the brush size, press F, like this. And so what I want to do is apply a texture map here, down here, and I want to create a new texture mask. And I want to make this random, the distribution. Okay, another thing, go over here to the texture and change the brush to brush mask texture, and the type, change it to clouds. Okay, now I can paint over this. It's kind of creating lightened the white part in the middle, but it's using this texture. You can see it's not uniform. That will appear more realistic. Yeah, like this. So especially on the central parts, it may appear more white, and it darkens as you move forward. Yeah. Okay. Maybe something like this. Okay, on this side, it was not really painted the brown. We will get back to this one. Okay, so to go back, you can click on this and it will change the brush. I wanna address this one. So okay, so the initial phase, these were not colored, the crevices. So I'll just paint them with a kind of brown color. Okay, now I'll go back to my other brush. Let's see it from the top. Yeah. Now it's creating more random, natural look. Yeah. It will really help if you have a reference picture. think that's enough. All right. So the other thing we can do is, for instance, if you notice, usually muffins, cakes, breads, they tend to have different level of degree when they are baked. So the burning level, the baking level varies on the surface. So to simulate that, what we can do is let's change the blend mode to overlay, and I'll use this brush, but I'll change this to darkened, and I'll change the strings maybe. Okay, let's leave the strings and try this one. So if you see, it's kind of creating different colors. So this brush, the overlay is just intensifying the color underneath it, and this will create the illusion that this surface is baked more than the others, things like that. So just randomly go over it, maybe somewhere in the middle here also. Usually these parts tend to be such characteristics. So if you repeat on the one surface again and again, the intensity tends to increase. Maybe down here. Like this. So this creating a random look like this one. Okay. So just use your imagination, and you can just play with it. Okay. I think I'll leave it at this. Yeah. We go to the material view. Let's see how it appears. Okay. About the render view. This is our final output, is the render view. It's okay. Yeah, we have achieved the different level of degree of the baking surface. I think this will do. Okay, so I will go to the layout view and can go to the material. Let me unhide everything. Alt H, and this is what it looks like in the render view. Let's render this and see. Yeah, cycles. Remember, use smaller samples. I'm using 6 and 10. Okay, now render. Okay, looks like we are done with the render. As you can see, we were able to texture paint on the muffin. And if you remember last time, we did the materials and we applied different colors for the muffin, and compared to that, this one has significantly improved and this one has a more realistic look. You can see that now it's almost having the texture of a muffin, and just like any bakery, the bread, something like that, it has a look, a vibe of something like that, and this is nice to see. Okay, so this will be all for today. Next time we'll try to improve this one further by using postural displacement method to add some different bumps and so that it can further gets closer to the actual muffin look. That will be on the next episode. So thanks for watching for today. I'll see you next time on the next episode.